Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. Continuing coverage of the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. We're up to horse number 7, Samraat. And I got to tell you, Chuck, this is one of the more intriguing horses in the race. And the reason being is he's probably the only true speed horse in the race. Going to be most likely the horse on the lead or sharing the lead with California Chrome in the early stages of this race. As I said when we talked about California Chrome in inheriting the lead possibly by default, no horse has gone wire. Only 2 horses have gone wire to wire since 1984 in the Belmont. So that's my one concern with this horse. But I'll tell you, if you talk about gameness, this horse has a huge heart. All you got to do is go to YouTube and Google the Wither Stakes and the Gotham Stakes and watch the stretch drive between him and Uncle Si. This horse got a ton of heart.
Yeah, I agree. And he, this is a New York-based horse. He's won 5 of the 7 races. He had a tough trip in the Derby. He lost. He came in 5th by a nose. He almost came in 4th. Ruined a lot of maybe some superfectas there. But he is the lone speed. I don't remember in recent times in the Belmont this little speed in the race. I mean, he might, and if you could get to the top and you could set your own fractions, as you mentioned earlier, if you could slow it down, this horse is really good and he has the big heart. He could be a long shot here. I think has a legitimate chance of maybe shocking some people. I bet this horse in the Derby, he took off the Preakness, had a tough trip, but I think he could possibly pull off the upset if the race is run the way he wants it to.
Well, the horse finishing 5th, him finishing 5th in the Kentucky Derby, and like you said, it was just the final stride that he got nipped for 4th. He is the only other horse that was involved in the early fractions with California Chrome in the Kentucky Derby that did finish forward. Everybody else that was in, up near the front in the Kentucky Derby all finished back. So I think that's a big statement for this horse. And I'll tell you something else I noticed, and I don't know if you saw it, but if you looked at the way they've been working this horse coming into the Belmont, most of the trainers take their horses and they go 4, 5 furlongs. Maybe they'll stretch them out to 6 furlongs in their works. Not Samraat. They have been the last 2 works, which was on May 25th and May 31st. They worked this horse a mile both times. So they're building this horse's stamina. And I think he's a horse that you got to use there. And if they get slow fractions, if him and California Chrome are out there just jogging along, nobody coming at them early, and they got cheap fractions, he could be there to deep stretch. And you got to use him on your ticket.
It's interesting you talk about the workouts that he ran a mile, because my one concern with this horse is the distance. I mean, he isn't a horse that's bred to run a mile and a half. So if there was a concern, and that is a concern, will he run the distance? That's why I think maybe they're training him on that mile. But I agree with you. I think he's a must-use in the exotics, because even if he's losing, this is a horse who has the big heart, like you mentioned. He doesn't quit, and we saw that as well in the Derby. You mentioned all the other horses falling back. I think he's a must-use in the exotics.
All right, there you have it. Number 7, Samraat on Saturday. We're going to get to a horse that I'm pretty interested in. We're going to talk about number 9, Wicked Strong. That's up next. Pregame.tv.